ABC's Elizabeth Schulze joining us right now live from Washington, D.C. What are you seeing right now, Elizabeth?
Well, it almost feels like a military zone here at the Capitol. There are thousands of National Guard members all around us. Many of them are armed. Many of them have riot gear with them. They are at the ready in case there are any threats during this very important day that they are all here for in the wake of the attack on the Capitol just a couple of weeks ago. There are checkpoints all throughout the city. We had to go through several layers of security just to get into the complex today, and roads are blocked, bridges are blocked. Really, it is a city on lockdown. It's a very different feel than previous inaugurations where there are crowds and parades. Some of that, of course, is because of the pandemic too, but really a different mood here in Washington this year.
And how long did it take for you to actually get into that area? Because I know when we've done a couple of things, with anything involving the White House or any presidential, event, it's always very, very difficult to get in. Tell us just about, from a reporter standpoint, what that was like for you.
Well, we left a lot of time. We left extra hours, not minutes here. We had to allow for time to get from our bureau to here, and normally that drive would take 10 minutes. We thought it could take up to 2 hours just because of the security to get here and where we had to get dropped and the walk that we might have to make. And ultimately, there isn't just security from a credential and point of view of making sure that you're cleared to get in. There's also an added layer here when it comes to the pandemic, where everyone who's in this Capitol complex had to have a COVID test, and that's a requirement that is also being checked. So there are so many layers of scrutiny just to get to the place where you want to be. And it's a testament to how important this is being taken and how little was done, of course, 2 weeks ago when we saw the attack on the Capitol here.
And Elizabeth, you made a good point there. Pandemic, unrest, so much going into this inauguration day. Normally the mood may be a little different, maybe a little lighter. What are you feeling right now? Because I know there's a little bit of uneasiness heading into today's massive celebration.
Yeah, a little bit of tense feelings. One of the things we have heard from law enforcement who have been preparing heavily for this day, of course, in the past few weeks, is that they are prepared. They are monitoring all of the possible threats. And, a little bit of scare yesterday when there was the word that a couple of the National Guard members, just two specifically, had been linked to possible extremist ties. They were immediately removed from inauguration security here. And the spokesperson ultimately said that anyone with any suspicious activity will be removed, and that will later be investigated. But for now, the priority is making sure that everything is absolutely as secure as possible. So certainly we are on edge. The city is on edge, and ultimately, this is a day that is a very different day than what many people in the city have come to know for inaugurations. And that's the whole point of getting this under control here now, so that in the future, maybe it can be a little bit more like it has been in the past.
Do you feel safe there right now?
I feel safe. We have a lot of security procedures in place. I feel like we have done absolutely everything required to get here and to do the important job of sharing the news today to everyone around the country. It's such an important day for the country, not just because a new president is coming into office, but because of the national story around the pandemic and around the attack on the Capitol. So certainly feel good and feel very, very happy to be here today, too.
All right. Well, Elizabeth, we appreciate all of your coverage. I'm sure we'll be seeing more of you throughout the day as you continue to cover a historic day in D.C. Again, we thank you for your coverage.